Hello, welcome to Doors to Hope and Healing, an inside look at foster care and adoption needs in Connecticut. My name is Jacqueline Ford. I am humbled and honored to have worked for the Department of Children and Families for almost 30 years. And although I may be familiar with many of the topics I bring to you, I am inviting experts in those fields to share their knowledge. Joining us today for a two-part show is Brian Cofrancesco, Head of Kid Governor from the Connecticut Democracy Center, Riley Bard and her mom Erin, who will talk to us about her special interest in such a sensitive topic of foster care. Welcome to Doors to Hope and Healing. It's a pleasure to have you all with me today. For those of our guests just joining us, this is part two of a show about Connecticut's Kid Governor. So Brian, who joined us before, is back again with us. And Brian, before we get started with these interviews, can you just tell us what the Kid Governor program is?
Sure. So the Kid Governor program is a civics program for fifth graders created by our team at the Connecticut Democracy Center. And it's a way for fifth graders to learn about civics and state government and elections and really civic participation through an authentic election for a kid governor every fall.
And we're going into our what election?
We're going to our fifth election here in Connecticut.
Very exciting. And for our viewers who want to know more about Kid Governor, can you just tell us the website again?
Absolutely. It's ct.kidgovernor.org, and they can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube, where they can watch the videos of past Kid Governors, past candidates, and the work of the students who participate in the Connecticut's Kid Governor program.
Wow, well thank you. So when I talk to our two new guests, you can feel free to interject and join in whenever you feel that you have something you want to add. So joining us is Miss Riley Bard and her very proud mom, Erin. And Riley had run for Kid Governor in 2018, and she's currently a member of the cabinet, right? Which is a hugely impressive role to have.
Yeah.
I think it's very exciting. So tell me about yourself. How old are you?
So I'm 10 years old.
You're 10 years old, and what grade are you in?
So when I ran for Kid Governor, I went to Plainville Elementary School and I was in 5th grade, and now I'm at DePaula Middle School and I'm in 6th grade now, and I'm very excited for my 6th grade year.
So you're starting 6th grade next week?
Yes, I am.
And that's at a middle school?
Yes.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. Did you get your team and you know where you're
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff? Yeah, that's an exciting time and a little scary too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do the kids in your school know in the middle school that you are involved with the Kid Governor program?
So some do, some don't, but I am trying to work out with my principal to get a fundraiser going on at the middle school. I'm really excited about
Which is we're going to talk about, right? What your platform is all
Yes.
about. Okay, so Mom, tell me about yourself and your family and a little bit about Riley.
Okay, so I'm a special ed teacher at DePaula Middle School, where she will be attending. I'm very excited about that. And so I have two daughters, Riley and Charlotte, as I was mentioning off camera. And in 5th grade, we went to open house, and I got to hear a little bit of the pitch from Mrs. Chavez. Riley will tell you about her in a little bit, about what Kid Governor was about. And again, it was only a snippet. And when I came home, I remember telling Riley, you have to do this. This is so amazing. It's like right up your alley. You're gonna love it. And at the time, she's like, well, Mom, I don't really know what you're talking about because it's open house and kids don't come to that. But then, she'll tell you more about then. But we're always about giving back. We do it all the time. We do it when we can, whenever we can. Riley's also a member of the Giving Back Girls, and they collect donations for school supplies and things for kids in need in Southington. So she's always been exposed to it. And so when we got involved in this program, I knew she was going to do very well.
So that was your first, that was the first time you had heard about the program?
Kid Governor, yeah, I never heard about it before that, nope.
And had the elementary school participated in the past?
Yes, Mrs. Chavez did, and so I believe when she was talking to the kids about it, she had mentioned that that the kids, what their platform was, or what they wanted to be involved in, but it wasn't the initial rollout. So when Riley came home and was able to tell me all the details, it was just incredible.
because pretty soon after school started, that whole election, that was really prime time for the
Oh, for
election,
sure.
right? So she got everybody excited about that, and then you learned more about it from your mom. Your mom must have known something special because she came home that night and she
Yeah.
said, you have to do it. And then look at where you went. Look at us now. You're
Yeah.
on TV,
Yeah.
right? Your debut on television. So that's how you first learned about the Kid Governor program. And were there other kids in your class that were also interested in running?
So there was about 6, and then a few kids dropped out and was like, this is not me. And
How many were left? How many went?
so it was about 6.
All
6
together?
All together, yes. And we all ran at one time, like battling it off against each other, basically. And we had a couple people came in and voted on us, and we found out the same day, which I didn't expect would happen. And found it was me, and we celebrated a lot and a lot.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That is so exciting. You just gave me goosebumps because that is so exciting.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a mother's heart and to have that pride for where you are going with this. So tell me about, do you remember what some of the platforms that the other kids in the classroom had?
Yeah, so one was that they did like the environment, so stop recycling, this helps the animals. One was bullying. Another one was hunger, and I can't remember the rest, but those were some of the ones that they did.
And yours was all about what?
Foster care.
Foster care. So when I heard about you and I talked to Brian and I saw your video, I said, I need to meet her because my work for so many years has been about foster care, about foster parents and foster kids and adoption and really the importance of having every child have a safe place to be. So I thought you were a pretty impressive young lady, and it was
Thank you.
so great to have you on here. So why foster care?
So 2 of my family members were in the foster care and adoption, and I was like, after I heard about their experiences, I was like, I need to help. And when I was, since 2nd grade in elementary school, I've been helping the community, going to CCMC, dropping off some animals, and the Sulington Food Pantry, and I knew I wanted to take it a step further than what I was doing because I wanted to help more than what I was doing now.
And you wanted to help in what way for the foster kids?
So I want to help them with their transitions from school to home or to other activities so they feel more comfortable with where they're going and they don't have such a hard time getting to know everybody.
So your platform was on foster care, and I saw your video, and you wanted to make a difference because you know that because I work with foster kids so much, and oftentimes they move schools many times in foster care placements, and they don't have that home base because school is, even though school can be hard sometimes, it's a safe place, right? And it's a fun place, and it's where people around you are familiar. And unfortunately, with our foster kids, they move around so much that they don't get to have that, to have experience what you have. So tell me about what else you've done with foster care. So you make your pitch and you run for the election, and then you get to be a cabinet member because that wasn't chosen, right? Because Ella is our kid governor. And what have you done with foster care?
So for my birthday in December, instead of asking for presents, I asked for like blankets and toys and stuff like that. And then my uncle helped raise money, $150, to provide for these kids. And my school also did a big drive to collect like toothpaste and toothbrushes and stuffed animals and sheets and shampoo and conditioner. And then all of the stuff that I had, I was able to create bags and with stuffed animals and blankets and stuff. So I was able to bring not only the toothbrushes and shampoo, but also bags that I made to give to the kids.
Oh, wow. And where did you bring them?
I brought them to the Winifred house in my town. They're very nice, and they brought them, and they loved it, and I was very excited to see their faces.
How does it feel to do something good?
It feels really good.
It does.
And not only seeing, the people at my school, how they see what they're doing, but like to actually see the people that work there, see their their faces. It's really fun, and it makes you feel really good.
It does feel good. So do you have other plans for how you want to make a difference in foster care?
Yeah, so not only that I mentioned to you, I'd like to have a drive at my school, I would like to do one at a restaurant, try to get something, because I would love to keep helping and doing, stuff till I'm way older, and then I can be a foster parent and a bunch of other things. And then it gets complicated.
You are just the cutest thing. So have you asked your mom to be a foster mom? Because I can talk to her about that offset.
She has. She has.
I have, and it's a big commitment, but I'm also, when I'm older, I'm ready for it, and I know what it takes, and I would love to be a foster parent.
Wow. I think that what you're telling our viewers is that there are so many different ways that you can help in the
Yes.
foster care system, because not everybody can be a foster parent, right? It is a huge commitment, and some people may not have the space or the time, but there's always different ways that you can help, and you're being such an incredible role model for other kids your age and even older, because you certainly don't act like you're just going into 6th grade. You're very mature.
Thank you.
And that inspires others, and I'm sure that some of our viewers watching are going to say, I want to do something that she's doing, because it does feel good. It feels good when you help. And we have a great need, because when our kids are taken out of their homes, oftentimes they may not come with a lot of their own things. So having that teddy bear and having that new toothbrush or a new pillowcase is really something that they're always going to remember. People who donate may see it as just things, but those things are ways that that child can feel like they have their own stuff going
Yes.
into a new place. So when you talk about wanting to have an event at a restaurant, is it like a fundraiser that you're thinking of having?
Yeah, something to, even if it's just I sit outside and like people that come, I just ask them, do you want to donate and stuff like that, and I'd love to do that.
And you live in the Southington community?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're affiliated with the New Britain DCF office.
I am.
tell her about
So
who we
I
met
had a wonderful, wonderful time at in New Britain, and we went there, and I dropped off the bags to them in Nicholin car, I believe.
Yes. Where does she
by
work? Klingberg.
Klingberg.
Okay, yeah.
And when I went there, I was able to give them all the bags, and it was wonderful to see all their associates and all the friends to see, and that I was able to give to them. It was just a wonderful time. And then not only was I able to see them, I was able to see, I think, Stephen Gorelli. I don't remember what he was. I think he was like the president, and it was just a wonderful time. We had such a fun time, being able to give them the bags and getting to know them, and it was just a really fun time.
And they valued what you were doing and made sure they were there to make you understand what a value it is, the work
Yes.
that you're doing. So, Mom, so you must be just so proud of
I
her.
am so proud.
So proud of
Absolutely.
her. So selfless, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with the way that she's being raised,
Oh, well, thank
because
you.
that definitely makes a huge difference in how our kids grow. So what's your take on this whole foster care interest?
I love it. I'm extremely proud of her, as you kind of hit on there, and the connections that she's made. I mean, working with Klingberg, they have been so supportive to us, and reaching out to us, checking in, asking what can we do next, or we ask them how can we help. That has been truly wonderful, and it's interesting too that because Riley is only going into 6th grade, and the different organizations that she's involved with, whether it be sports or clubs, she talks about this, and it gets the kids so excited, and they want to help. She had a young lady in elementary school that wasn't part of the Kid Governor program at all, but once Riley started with the fundraising, she wanted to help, and she was there every step of the way, and it made me so happy to know that she's kind of spreading out into everybody else, or her light is, reaching other kids.
Right.
And it's powerful. It's moving for sure.
And you must just feel, Brian,
It's
so
incredible.
I mean, this pilot program from 5 years ago, and look at us now, because it's creating awareness, and that's a big part of what I do at DCF is finding platforms and people to be our messengers. And you're a messenger for us. The work that you're doing is helping, but you're also creating that level of awareness for people who may not have realized that foster kids need things, or the trauma, or that there are still people who will say to me, oh, I didn't know that there is a need. I just, they still thought there may be orphanages or one main place that kids go who have been abused or neglected. So creating awareness and dispelling those myths and misconceptions is something that if we all could take a piece of and make that happen, we're going to just really impact that foster care system. Have you ever met a foster child?
I have never, other than my family members.
Okay. So with all of this work that you're doing, how can I help you?
So you can always donate money, and so I can provide for the children, or even just donate items. And it goes to a great place, and it's all basically always, welcomed.
Well, we can definitely talk offset about different ways that I'm thinking that I would love to help you and get you out there, and that people know about what you're doing, because you're a messenger, and we're going to create more messengers in that work. So I am so appreciative of what you're doing. We have something coming up that I think you're going to be coming to in Avon. So the Department of Children and Families has taken the lead on Connecticut Family Day for several years, for many, many years. And because it's fallen under my division, I tried to have the theme of Connecticut Family Day be about foster care or adoption in some way. So this year, I was very excited to be able to partner with Brian and the Kid Governor's Office to talk about how we can work together for this poster contest that we just had. And we worked with Ella and your cabinet, right? And you have, so tell me, what role did the cabinet have in, they looked at all of the submissions?
They did. So we worked together on a statewide poster contest focused on the prompt of what does pride, hope, love mean to your family? And we had more than 70 students submit posters that represented what that meant to them. And so we had the cabinet members meet at the Kid Governor's office at the old State House, and they spread all the posters out. They chose the top posters, which represented that were creative, and then they were sent along to your office to choose the final winner.
Was it hard to look through all 70 of those submissions?
It was hard. We got it down to like maybe a certain number, and then we're like, we can't do this anymore. They're hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah, because there was some criteria that people had to follow in order to qualify. There had to be a handprint in every drawing, right, and some vibrant colors. So we got it down to 13. Wow. So we have the winner. Who would you like to announce who the winner is?
Well, I'll let you do the honors.
Thomas, and I don't have his last name written down.
I don't have his last name either.
But Thomas is from Avon.
Oh, Crack on Grace.
Yes, and he goes to the same school and that Ella goes to, correct? And,
wow,
yeah,
that's wonderful.
And he won first prize, and he'll be getting an award that night. And then our hope is to take the other 12 submissions that were the runner-up and make a calendar.
Oh, cool.
Some kind of a calendar. And our hope is that at Connecticut Family Day, that we'll be celebrating on the 25th of September at Storyteller's Cottage in Avon, that all the kids from the cabinet and a parent will come, as well as the contestants and those that have been chosen will come there.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you had a big piece in helping, because usually I do that kind of on my own with a few other people that will join me. So what we did was we took the 13 that you all came out of that 70, and then we had our internal judges. We had someone from True Colors and someone from our department and people in the community and media sources too, and they all voted, and that's how they came down to the top one of those 13.
Okay.
So when you get together at the old State House and you have a cabinet meeting, what do you talk about?
So we, the first time we went, we did an icebreaker challenge, and just like an icebreaker to get to know each other, and then we did it was like what was it called? Scavenger hunt around the old State House, and it was fun. We went to this and that, and it was fun, or to different places in the old State House, and it was fun to all work together and get through. If we didn't know it, Ella would know it, or a bunch of our friends would, or a bunch of the people that were there would know it, and it was just a really fun time. We ended up putting costumes on it once, and we just took a funny picture. So it was just a really fun time that we do, but we also, get to talk about what we've done so far, and what we would do to help if maybe some other people had ideas, stuff like that.
And do you support each other's platforms, or are you working as a cabinet on Ella's platform?
So we do help with Ella's, and Ella tries to help everyone there, and we all try to help each other create ideas or help Ella create ideas or do a bunch of other stuff.
That sounds great. So it's like the private cabinet meeting.
Yeah.
I've been at the old State House, and that is really a nice building with such history, and right here right in our backyard, basically. It's so close by. So before we close today, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. You are just absolutely the cutest thing, and keep doing what you're doing, and keep making the world a better place, because you really are. But before we close, if you had one wish about foster care, what would it be for foster kids? So if you could make a wish and the wish came true and it was for foster kids, what would that wish be?
Well, I mean, the wish is pretty hard, but one wish, and kind of covers everything, is for maybe as many children to find a home and have what they need and have different transitions, and they still can make tons of friends with no problem, or they have a little bit of problem, but they can work through it, and they can get through it with friends and family helping them through it and getting it done.
Well, if that wish could be granted, if I know anyone who can help make that come true, I believe that would be you. So keep working, honey.
Okay.
Thank you for watching Doors to Hope and Healing today, where we're reminded about the importance to invest in our youth, to listen to their voices and their ideas, and to give them a platform to elevate their voices. I leave you with these words from Miss Riley Bard. It's her video, and I hope it inspires you as it has us. Thank you.
Hello, 5th graders of Connecticut. My name is Riley, and I want to be your next Connecticut's Kid Governor. I'm going to need your help in working with my issue, which is helping kids in foster care feel better about their life at home and in school.
What is foster care, Riley?
Well, good question. Foster care is when a child is cared for or lives with people who are not their biological parents. Children who live in foster care are typically living in this situation because of neglect or abuse. This can harm the children emotionally and physically.
How does this affect kids in Connecticut, Riley?
Shockingly well, this year, 4,000 kids in Connecticut are affected by the foster care system on any given day. Think about it. That's more than the number of people that can fit into the Bushnell Theater. 5th graders, look around at your classmates, look around at the kids in your school. Chances are that there are many who have been or are currently in the foster care system.
Why is foster care so important to you, Riley?
Well, this topic is important to me because someone very near and dear to my heart at a young age became a foster parent to a child with special needs. During his transition, his foster mom made sure that he was able to develop friendships and found opportunities to make him feel included.
So what's your plan, Riley?
Well, not all foster kids have the same loving experience. Although I am too young to be a foster parent, I still want to make these children's moves to new homes and schools as easy and comforting as possible.
As 5th graders, what can we do to help?
Well, there is so much that you and I can do together to make these friends and classmates of ours who are in the foster care system feel better. With your help, 5th graders, we can accomplish fostering friendships in 3 ways. 1. Hold fostering friendship fundraisers at schools and libraries. This fundraiser will educate the public on the need for foster care parents and ask for new stuffed animals, toys, backpacks, lunch boxes, and clothes. We will provide these foster kids with belongings that can be their own, which hopefully will make the adjustment to their new home and school that much easier. 2. Develop fostering friendships clubs. Students with leadership qualities and positive role model attributes will be paired with students living in foster care. Teachers will serve as adult mentors that these kids can confide in, resulting friendships that can develop in and out of school. 3. I will create a fostering friendships blog. I would start a blog that highlights foster care children enjoying their time with their new friends and family. I think a kid governor should be someone who wants to make a difference in the lives of many children. And I am that someone who's looking to make a difference. I'm willing to make new connections, to find solutions, and take chances. But above all, I enjoy helping my community, and I genuinely care for others. I hope you find my cause and my ideas worthy as voting me as your next kid governor.